awkwardly stood in front of the notice board, wondering if I should apply for the mermaid role or not. Suddenly, Julia came over and pushed me aside. An ugly lizard like you wants to be a mermaid? Taylor Swift's marriage to Kanye West is more likely to happen. Just wait and see, skunk. I'll get that role. My bold challenge pissed Julia off. She pushed my shoulder roughly and furiously left. Hi, I'm Araxi. My life would have been perfect if it wasn't for Julia, the horrible blonde next door. Just because I'm an introvert who loves reading, that queen bee constantly made fun of me and called me a nerd. Julia would do anything to humiliate me in front of the crowd. I don't know what I did to deserve that, but to say we hated each other was an underestimate. As the queen of her school, she loves being the center of attention. How childish. I, on the other hand, a fine intellectual, only care about winning the upcoming science competition with my team and through that, getting a scholarship to the Columbia University of my dream. Once, my team was testing the newest robot on the school campus when Julia passed by. She screamed at the top of her lungs when she accidentally stepped on her invention. For real? Your stupid robot scratched my new Louboutin shoes! What? You stepped on it by yourself! She angrily kicked her robot, but unfortunately, her heels got stuck into its engine. Despite her best efforts, Julia couldn't pull her feet out. Then, the robot suddenly went out of control. It sped away, causing Julia to fall hard on her back, and her cup of water landed on her face. You filthy losers! You'll pay for this! Julia scrambled to her feet and angrily left. A few days later, when the science competition took place, my team excitedly brought her work on stage and presented it to the audience. Everything was fine until the robot suddenly got an error. It made piercing noises and behaved strangely. Seeing the impatience on the judges and audience faces, I quickly walked over to check the robot. When I almost touched it, boom! The robot exploded and caught fire! I screamed horrifyingly as the principal rushed over with a fire extinguisher because instead of spraying on the robot, he clumsily sprayed it directly on my face! Not only did I become the school's laughingstock, but my team was also expelled from that competition. That meant no more scholarship for me. As we were depressed, Julia came over. Ha! I sure that the robot 10 times more mind-blowing, didn't I? Told ya, you'd have to pay for embarrassing me. I was extremely furious. That Nick needed to learn her lesson. Very soon, our team held a meeting. To make her feel our pain, we decided to take away what Julia treasured most. Her fame. How? My question left everyone scratching their heads. Then, Tom, a team member, started shouting excitedly like when Archimedes discovered the principle of displacement.
Eureka! I know! Julia is always bragging that she's the only beautiful enough to play the lead role for 3 years in the school's annual play. She'll flip if someone takes her position this year.
Sounds great. Then, as the only female member of the team, I was tasked with that difficult quest. A few days later, the audition took place. Our school was going to perform The Little Mermaid. I had absolutely no experience, so I felt extremely nervous. Apparently, Julia sniffed my fear. She smirked. Your ugly outfit is a disgrace to this audition. Yet, it's still prettier than your face. Just wait, I'm on the next level. I felt so cool when I dared to challenge the most popular blondie in school. But that confidence quickly dropped when I watched her audition. Damn it! She was actually talented. When it was my turn, I was shaking uncontrollably. It didn't help when Julia kept shouting, "Come back to your loser's planet!" Bad move, Julia. Your taunts actually boiled me. I got my spirits up and started performing with all I had. When the song part of your world was about to end, I sat on a fake ledge on the stage and boldly ripped off my dress. Inside, the fake fishtail that my teammates had prepared for me was revealed. It was our secret weapon. The tail glowed beautifully under the light and could even wave, making everyone utterly amazed. The director even gave me a standing ovation. After the audition, Julia and I were the final candidates for the lead role. The director said that he would give us 2 weeks to practice and then he'd choose the fitting actress in the final rehearsal. Needless to say, I blindly practiced. My teammates always try their best to support me. However, it was still too difficult. I never thought being a queen bee was so hard. After we thoroughly analyzed me and Julia, we concluded that I had a 9% chance of winning. Great! Then, Tom suddenly proposed.
Come on, guys. We cannot give up now. Time to pull some tricks on Julia.
There was no other way for us to win, so we all agreed to play dirty. The night before the audition, because I was Julia's neighbor, I easily punctured her tire. The next morning, the blonde snake had no choice but to go to school by taxi. But she had no idea that Tom's cousin was a taxi driver and had been waiting for her. So, he deliberately drove her around the streets and made her miss the final rehearsal. As a result, I was chosen for the role. I thought I'd be happy with that victory, but something unexpected happened. That night, when I was sleeping, I was disturbed by a lot of noise. It came from Julia's house. Something seemed wrong. When I looked closely, I saw Julia's father dragging a suitcase out of their house and her mother trying to stop him. The two of them kept fighting until the father got in a car and left. I could see Julia standing in front of the house and sobbing. The next morning, the story was spread around the school. Everyone was either pitying or making fun of her. At the end of class that day, I saw her burst into tears in the toilet. Even though Julia was mean as hell, I didn't have the heart to leave her alone. She angrily wiped her tears. You must be happy, right? Laugh all you want. Hey, we've been enemies for 18 years. Can't we take a break today? I need rest too. Surprisingly, Julia laughed a little at my words. She started to open up. Turns out, her father had another woman. Her parents constantly fought over that and made the house very suffocating. My mother was broken by it. I wanted to make her proud by being the lead in everything, either the school play or the school social ladder. But it seems like I failed this time. Hearing her story, I felt extremely sorry for what I did. She was mean to me, but it doesn't mean I should be mean back and stole her rightfully spotlight. On the day of the school play, I walked up to Julia with a mermaid costume in my hand. Julia, the mermaid role is yours. Break a leg. But why are you doing this? I confessed what I did. But instead of getting angry, Julia was surprised. I still don't get it. You only needed to keep silent to win. I know, but we can stop a war with a war. Why be enemies when we can be friends? Julia softened, and for the first time, she hugged me and apologized for what she did. In the Little Mermaid play that day, Julia was shining brightly on the stage. Hopefully, her mother would be proud of her just as she wanted. In the end, both Julia and I realized that we all had our own qualities. No matter how different we are, we should respect each other.
No